Economic crisis. Here with a reality check, Republican Governor Mitch Daniels of Indiana. Welcome back to the show, Governor. Great to have you again. So, are Republicans spending too much time on social issues in your view?
I'm tempted just to say amen, Jerry, to your opening a minute ago, but then we'd have 7 minutes with nothing more to talk about. So let me just underscore what I believe you were saying, that clearly the urgent, desperately urgent priority for this country has got to be a private economy that grows more swiftly, coupled with the spending restraint that, along with that growth, allows us to deal with the biggest danger we've faced other than wartime ever, which is the debts we've piled up. The American people know this is the threat to their future. They want to hear both sides, I think, speak persuasively to it. And I'd also point out, just simply from a political standpoint, this is the point of vulnerability for the president. The failure of his policy is very manifest. We need to show, those of us in the loyal opposition, that we have a better answer.
Well, you know, I didn't even mention that oil prices headed to $4. Some people say even $5. But I want to ask you about the one Republican candidate who's really focused on social issues. That's Rick Santorum. Now, he's talked about a lot of different kinds of social issues, and it's playing well. In fact, he's leading by double digits in some polls, a national poll today, as a matter of fact. What do you make of that? Are they talking about social issues because it does have currency with this electorate?
Well, he's very sincere in his views, and I respect them very much, basically share many of them. I don't really know what to attribute his recent climb in the polls, except his own hard work and possibly the continuing restlessness of Republicans that Governor Romney is the best standard bearer for us. But nothing changes, I don't think, the validity of the point you made, Jerry, which is that the mortal threat to this country, the one that bothers the American people, the one that cries out for leadership, and also the one in which the president is clearly the most vulnerable, is the economy, the debt, and the related issues around them.
Well, you know, you spoke about that in a very inspired way, I thought, in your response to the State of the Union. It was very articulate. You made great points about how maybe we shouldn't be taxing the rich more, but at the end of the day, they shouldn't get quite so much of our entitlement spending dollars either. Do you think that's going to resonate? Do you think anybody else can carry that message in as persuasive a way as you have? When are we going to hear Romney, Santorum, all these folks, the president, talk about cutting entitlement spending?
Oh, sure. Anybody can. It's not that complicated a message. And I think that our eventual nominee, whichever it is, will know both the nature of the problem and the best way forward. You know, it's not hard to say to Americans, those who are retired now or about to be, you are good to go. Don't worry about a thing. But join us in making sure that younger people have something to fall back on, too. And I just don't see any reason for timidity on the part of our party in addressing what really people across the spectrum, honest people, know. We cannot go on with the entitlement programs as they are. We cannot go on, as the president's budget suggests, just marching into hopeless levels of debt.
Well, you know, again, you sound inspired. And this week we have so many voices saying that these Republican candidates don't represent the best of the party. Talk about a brokered convention. What kind of impact do you think a brokered convention would have on the general election? Is it a bad thing? Will people think that democracy is ceased if a bunch of guys in a back room decide who the party's candidate is?
First of all, it wouldn't be brokered. We don't know what it would look like. We haven't seen one in our lifetime. But, you know, there aren't any brokers anymore. It would be hotly contested. The delegates will come with their own convictions and their own preferred candidates. It'd probably be a real free-for-all. I really don't know what the impact would be. It would certainly grab the attention of the nation. And, you know, it could result in a very positive outcome. Or, I suppose, it could give an impression of disarray that was harmful.
Well, you know, we keep hearing people float your name again and again, and you keep denying that you'd be interested in it. But if Republican leaders came to you at the convention and said, will you run, would you?
Well, I just don't see that happening, and I can't say often enough that this is just not an obsession or a personal ambition of mine. And my obsession is to see this country succeed. And we are dangerously close to national failure, possibly irretrievable failure. I just think there are other ways that a concerned citizen can contribute, and I'm looking for those ways.
Who do you think stands the best chance of really capturing the excitement and enthusiasm of voters? Santorum, Romney, somebody else? Who do you say?
Don't know. Don't pretend to know. I will say this, excitement's got its value in politics, but there's also a time, I believe, for sobriety and for leveling with the American people. These are very dangerous times we're in, and as you illustrated in your opening, we've got a lot of very dispirited fellow citizens out there. The percentage of Americans working today is the lowest since the days of the stay-at-home mom. Millions have given up completely, and I believe that a campaign, maybe it's exciting, maybe it's just simply a pretty straightforward, that says to folks, here's the nature of our fix, and here's a way out. Join us in taking the necessary measures. That may be the most effective campaign of all.
Straightforward would be refreshing, particularly if it really got to the heart of the issues. Governor Daniels, thanks for coming on today. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.